good morning, and welcome to Your Future is Now. The future is now. Now, in life, we're on a journey, and oftentimes the journey takes many different twists and turns. But while we're on the journey, we should hold on to the scripture that says, where there's no vision, the people will perish, and to write the vision and make it plain. Today, we have an awesome visionary in the studio with us. But before we introduce that visionary, let's be greeted by the one and only, the incomparable Bishop Crystal Thomas.
You know, Pastor, you always make me feel better. And, you know, we should surround ourselves with people that make us feel better. In times like these, it's so important to have those relationships that just really thrust us forward as individuals. It is a challenging time, but I am so thankful that we have people that are still doing great things. And I am excited about today's show and our guest, just phenomenal. And I know that you'll be inspired as well. So thank you, Pastor. Good to be here.
Yes, good to be here. Good to be seen.
Yes, it is. Hallelujah. Amen.
I would like for our visionary to introduce herself. And to be honest, she's one half of the husband and wife visionary team. So let's hear from the lady.
All right.
Hi, I'm excited to be here today. My name is Ashley Green. I am the founder of KAAN Designs. We're a family matching apparel business. And unfortunately, yes, my husband couldn't be here because in addition to being business owners, we're still parents and had to get the kids off to school today.
I'm interested in a lot of things that you guys have already done because with every struggle, every vision, there's always a journey. And because I am an educator too, talk to us a little bit about your educational experiences first and then how you make that transition.
It was an accidental transition, actually. So I went to school here in Fort Wayne, graduated from Southside High School, went to IU, Indiana University, and I graduated with a degree in secondary education focused in English. Came back, taught at Northside for a while, moved to Southside. Then I moved to Snyder. During that time while I was at Northside, actually, I was cemented in education. I thought that's what I wanted to do forever. I had my master's in educational leadership. So I wanted to be like you. And then what happened, the transition sort of happened during maternity leave with my second son. I realized that I was spending a lot of time with other people's kids, not so much time with my kids. Transitioned to online teaching so that I could be more present as a mom. I mean, you know how demanding the classroom is, the high school level, extracurricular activities, when you're sponsoring things of that nature. So it just got really difficult. I had a really difficult pregnancy. A long recovery. Actually took a year off, and during that year off, while recovering from that tough pregnancy, I started KAANs, and it kind of was like an accidental transition. I just wanted, it was a little side hustle. I told Kenny I wanted to make money off of being a mom. I didn't know how that was going to happen. And we just started making T-shirts inspired by our two kids, and it flourished into where it is today.
And, you know, one thing I think about is, and I think the point I want our viewers to get today is that you might be doing something today, but maybe God has something for your tomorrow.
Yes.
So don't hold on to so tightly. It's like holding loosely the world. So we don't want to hold tightly to what we're doing right now because God's not through with you yet. So continuing on for sure. Yes.
You had a desire to create memories, and that was special to you. And can you tell us why?
Yes. So, like I said, a lot of what both Kenny and I do stems from parenthood. So my personal story is my mom died when I was 21. We were extremely close. We had a very, very close relationship. She died suddenly. She died of an autoimmune disease that we didn't know she had. So she went into the hospital in February and she passed away on Mother's Day in May. So I was a junior in high school. And one thing about my mom, although we spent a lot of time together, just like so many women, she struggled a lot with insecurities. Like, I'm not going to take a picture because I don't have any makeup, or I'm not going to take a picture because I need to lose a few pounds, whatever it was. So I ended up with one picture of her and I together. And so Kenny, my husband, he actually suffered 2 fires when he was a child. And so he literally watched his house burn down on the news. And so he has no memories, no physical memories from his childhood. So when we got married and we had kids, he turned into like this dad paparazzi and was constantly taking photos. And then I found myself, newly postpartum, falling into that same trap that my mom was fell into. And Kenny was just like, look, this is why you don't have any pictures of your mom and you don't want your kids to experience that. And so once we started the business, that mission kind of morphed together, where we decided to not only just create apparel that was inspired by our children, but apparel that would force people to get in the picture. Like, that's our business tagline, get in the picture. And I love just what like God has done with our business and truly giving it to him, because he truly takes, I guess, like who we are, and it's weaved all throughout it. So that really turned into something where like I get to be a part of generational photos. I don't have any generational photos with my mom, but so many have taken generational photos in our clothing. They take pregnancy announcements in our clothing, Christmas photos, and unfortunately even sometimes last photos. Like, I can't tell you the amount of emails, this was my mom's last Christmas, and, she took a photo because of these shirts. They force you to get in the picture. So that's kind of where that heartfelt, deep mission came from.
That is so powerful. That the pain in your life and then in your husband's life now becomes your pleasure and your mission, and just an encouragement for everyone else, because all of us have those pain points in our lives. But
It's
what a
healing
powerful
in a way,
story!
Yes.
It heals.
Yeah.
It heals, and it thrusts you forward, and you can't stay stuck.
Yes.
So that is really powerful. So talk to us now about the business that just came out of all of these memories you didn't have, but now being able to create memories for other people.
So, like I said, it's been a crazy journey, like something totally unexpected. When we first started, I told Kenny all I wanted was a shelf. Like, I just wanted to see a shelf of product. And what happened, like, while I worked the business for a couple of years while I was still teaching in the classroom. And then I went to Google University, as I call it.
Absolutely.
Like, I have
Don't we
not,
all?
Yes, we all.
not trained, obviously, to run any sort of business ever. No background in marketing. Went to Google University and learned social media marketing. And through social media marketing, like, I realized that people can't buy what they can't see. And so a lot of times, like, my mission, like, when I'm able to talk to anyone desiring to start a business or grow their projects and passions, is don't try to validate your ideas by those around you. Because it's not because they don't support you, but sometimes they just don't get it. And that's what I was experiencing. At the time, there weren't a lot of people making graphic tees, and especially graphic tees like ours that spoke to, they're everywhere now, but like that spoke to parenthood and motherhood and funny things. And it wasn't necessarily cool to match, why do I want to wear the same thing that somebody else is wearing? So I had to go out and find my people. And so that's like my biggest thing, is if there's something that that God has placed on your heart for you to do, and it's your purpose, it's your mission, go and find those people that are going to understand it, that are going to validate it for you, that are going to purchase from you, support you. And because your business can't be sustained by your family and friends anyway. And so you want those authentic supporters and that authentic community that's going to understand what you're doing. And so we started that way through social media marketing, started very small, with like $5. And we didn't have any money at the time. So it was a stretch for us. And so I think I wasted like $50. And Kenny's like, do not do that again. Like, you have no idea what you're doing. So I'm back at Google. Watching YouTube. I would have YouTube pulled up and my computer pulled up, and, like literal, like amateur, click this button and, do this. And so I remember just getting our first sale off of an ad, and then it just kind of compiled from there. And so then we learned, like, okay, this will work. We just got to get people to see it. And so we ended up going viral on social media, and we just found like people that were in that parenthood space that just thought it was cool, you know? And so they started to buy our t-shirts. The original remix was what really took off for us. And then as original remix took off, like our customers started to have more kids. So we needed another one. So we dropped the encore, and then finally we dropped the mic drop, and then we had Fresh New Beat. So it just really got to grow with our community, and we were able to answer the needs of our community. And so that was really cool. And from there, we started to gain national exposure. And what happened for us in 2020, where we were able to like do a partnership with Amazon, where I was able to go out to Seattle and actually work with Amazon executives and account reps to learn like that part of the business. And we had been selling on Amazon for a while, but to really understand Amazon, we got to go out there and learn that. And then we got to do something with Bravo TV, and then finally like Oprah came in 2020. And prior to that, the beginning of 2020, this is before COVID happened and everything, we were getting our house painted, and I had found some business success, and people were always asking me like, what happened? Like, what did you do? And I didn't really have a concrete answer, but I knew that this is what God had for me. Do you know, like, you know what you're doing, and you know that like you're working in your vision, but it's the bigger power working for you.
Yes.
And so I wrote down on my office, and I wish I could share the picture with you guys, because Kenny took a picture, and I wrote down that I wanted a God-sized dream that I couldn't take credit for.
Oh
And
my,
so,
that's powerful. Yes.
Because I felt like I wasn't giving him enough credit. And I wasn't like, it wasn't just Facebook ads. Like I knew it was something bigger working. And so I literally wrote down, I want a God-sized dream on the walls. Before they were painted, we wrote some other dreams down, some minuscule, some big. And so, but that was the one that I remember. And so then in July, we ended up getting an email. My assistant was like, check your email. And I'm like, okay, what is it? And so it literally was a one line like, hey, can I speak to someone? This is Liz from O Magazine. And I thought it was a scam. And I was like, okay, like who's Liz? Just one liner. And it wasn't. And so they asked for samples. We sent out samples. And, you know, it's a big back and forth process. And then they just went radio silent. And so I'm like, oh, I didn't get in, I didn't get on the list. So I asked them, I'm like, hey, what's the last process? And they're like, Oprah has to like it. And I'm like, okay. So I'm just waiting. And then they ended up setting up a meeting, and then bam, there Oprah is on the screen. And so that was a really cool experience, not just for me, but like I remember growing up watching her in my living room. And so it brought back memories of my mom. And like, how would she ever have imagined that because of this, because of her, because of these memories, it was this set. It was actually these sweatshirts. Well, that was the second time. The first time it was pajamas, but that we would be talking to Oprah and having, and so that was my God-sized dream. So that was, I call them love notes from the Lord. Like that was a love note to him. Like, keep going, keep doing this. Like, I'm with you. This, because you do question yourself in business. You do question, because it's not all Oprah days, is this what I'm supposed to be doing? Do I need to go back to the classroom? But that was my God-sized dream. I couldn't have imagined that for myself. I know that was something that he imagined for me. And it was wonderful.
But God is one thing that's standing out for me as I listened to you this morning, Ashley, is that you were concerned about your family.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we have to understand that God is concerned about family. And even your role and your husband's role as parents, and you wanted to include your children.
Yes.
And I think that is an example for all of us, that we're not soloing here, that we're concerned about somebody else, and we're concerned about the furtherance and the development of family.
Yeah.
So I just feel like perhaps that might have been a divine push that you were concerned about not leaving them behind, but taking them on the journey as well.
Yeah.
And just the testimony that your whole family is involved in
Oh,
this
yeah.
just speaks volumes, I think, even in the spirit realm. Because so often we forget about the children. I know when I first became a pastor, I just laid on the floor and cried because I said, oh my God, what about, my children? Because my children were young at the time.
Right.
And God spoke to me, he said, Crystal, he said, I wouldn't ask you to do something and forget about your children. You're looking at the wrong models. And to hear you say this today, he said, I'm going to show you how to do ministry. And to hear you say this today really blesses me, because it is about you're doing something that can be generational, that even beyond what you and your husband do, your children can also take up the mantle and take it further. And I want to say to everyone that's viewing, God loves our family. He's concerned about our family, and we don't want to do anything we can't put our children on pause.
Yes.
That's it.
It's always going and going and going.
They don't
And the
stop
fact
growing.
They don't stop
No.
growing. They do
No.
not stop growing. But you had a vision that included them, and I so
And it's
applaud
hard.
you for
Thank
that.
you.
Yes,
Thank you.
yes.
And it's hard sometimes. And even when I'm talking to him, when I'm talking to other people, I just had a breakdown the other day because I'm, like I said, every day is not an Oprah day.
Yes.
And I'm just like, what if this doesn't work out? I've wasted their time. They're so invested at this point. So it's hard because they're watching you as as parents, you're pushing their dreams forward and you're raising them to be who they desire to be. You are also still on pursuit of dreams and goals and different things like that. So it's a tough balance. And so, I'm constantly speaking to the Lord on that.
And that's what I want to talk about too, just the person. So what is it about you that keeps you persevering? Because kids need to learn how to persevere and how to be
absolutely.
resilient and bounce back when every day is not an Oprah day. So thank God for the Oprah day.
Yes.
Hallelujah.
Yes, thank
just
you.
that whole, where did you learn to persevere like that?
I think my mom, that's one thing I can say about her. While she was in the hospital, and I'm not trying to get emotional here today, but she, cause at first we didn't know what it was.
Yes,
It was kind of like, what's happening? Like I said, it was autoimmune disease. It kind of came on. But she was still my mom to the very end. And so I think about that, as a business owner, like you just said, as a pastor in ministry, you're still their dad, you're still their mom.
Right. Yes.
And so I think that's what, her being able to endure everything that she had to go through, all the testing, all the not knowing, all the struggle, just literally, she was 40 years old when she passed away, watching herself not be able to do, she couldn't walk anymore at the time when she passed away. Just watching that go away so quickly and so young was very difficult, but yet still standing up saying how's school? What is this paper due? What do you need from me? And I'm like, I don't need anything. How could you ask me that? But just willing to still be my mom. I think just that's what keeps me going. At the end, all of this doesn't matter. It really doesn't. They matter.
Yes.
And making sure. So when I'm a mom, I'm a mom. And so the computer is shut, the phone is down, but then also I go to them. I have to work. I have to work on this. So I need you to do X, Y, Z.
Yes.
Aiden, I need you to entertain your sister for a little bit. And I think because we have that mutual respect, that when you have my attention, you have my attention. When I have to do this, that my attention is diverted elsewhere. I think it just works. And we're very honest with them. So I think that's what keeps me going, is to show them that, hey, sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. You got to put your head down and you got to focus, but then also keep the bigger idea of what truly matters. And that's them. And I think as long as they still know that, I've heard the saying that as a mom, as a parent, you're juggling a million balls. Some are glass, some are plastic.
Yeah.
So you can't
That's
drop
real.
the ones that are glass.
Yes.
But if a
Oh,
few
that's so
fall
good.
that are plastic, it's okay. So if something is late, it's okay. If if that you missed that deadline, I was supposed to have some things up yesterday. Aiden had a big band competition. That's okay. That was glass.
Right. Yes.
And
yes,
so
yes.
you just gotta Keep the glass balls.
I applaud what you're saying about balance, and sometimes we think that it's got to be equal.
No.
But to hold the glass takes more weight than to hold the plastic.
Yep.
So sometimes balance might look like
Yes.
this, but it also implies priority. That you're keeping the main thing, and what God is concerned about. He's concerned about us.
Yeah.
Yes, he is. Earlier you mentioned you went to Google University and you learned social media marketing.
Yes.
But in this current day and age, it's really your best half that has taken over that aspect of the business.
Yes.
So talk about Kenny's role as your husband, and then also the children have become involved in content creation.
Yes. So Kenny is just awesome. He's just such a good guy, like from the very beginning. So when I went to him with this business, like I said, it was my idea. They were my designs, but he was just like, okay. So he jumped in exactly wherever he needed to jump in. And so he's really good at telling our family story. And so I realized that, again, like through marketing, that people don't buy necessarily just the product. They also buy the people. They buy the story. They want to support the people behind it. So he did a really good job at sharing who we are. It's honestly like, this is kind of uncomfortable for me. He's better at it than I am. He's really good at like sharing like how we got here. And so that's what he does. His role is in the business. So he creates all of our social media posts, our videos. And through that, he actually that was one of his things that he wrote on the wall.
Okay.
He wanted to grow in content creation. He wanted to grow on TikTok at the time. And I didn't believe in TikTok at the time. I was like, TikTok is not going to be a thing. Obviously, I was wrong.
But you can admit it.
Yeah, I can admit it.
Yes.
And he was like, yes, it is.
Yeah.
And so when him and my daughter really started heavy on TikTok, she was just a baby at the time. And just telling our story and just doing cute little videos. But people really got to see who he was as a dad. And he used to say, I'm just a dad, like at the time, like early in our career when we first graduated, when he was pursuing the corporate world and he felt like it was shutting him out. But I was like, God is going to do something with that just a dad. And now that is his profession, like to be a dad. And so he's so great at that too. And so he really walks alongside me as my business partner. He works in social media marketing. He does that for us now. Like I said, he creates our story and truly is an inspiration for tons of our products. Our biggest selling season is actually Father's Day. And ironically, like most of our customers are moms. Most of our products are our single products are mom based, but our highest grossing season is Father's Day. Like that is our Super Bowl, not Christmas, Father's Day.
Wow.
And a lot of that is to who Kenny is and his videos and just how inspiring he is on being a hands-on dad consistently. Like even coming here today, like there's no worry in like getting the kids off, getting them ready, like doing what you got to do. Like he's just an awesome dad, and that really transcends online.
So we need to work on those Mother's Day sales.
Yes. So support us for Mother's Day, like you do Father's Day, but no.
Oh, but that is amazing.
You have an awesome opportunity.
Yes.
That you've been sitting on for a while, but now we can let the cat out of the bag. And Friday, November 22nd, 2024, there is a special event going on here in the Summit City. Tell us about it.
Please.
So this Friday, we are going to air on Shark Tank. That is amazing. Another dream that God dreamed for me that I did not dream for myself. So that all transpired. We've known for a long time. We didn't know if we were going to air, but we filmed it back in June. And so then we're airing this Friday.
So this past June. So there's a wait.
There's a wait. There's a wait. And there's a kind of like, I don't know. And then so we did find out that we got an air date, November 22nd, this Friday. It feels like it was so long ago, but now I feel like it's coming really fast. So that's exciting. I'm really excited about that.
So
I haven't seen it, so I'm excited.
We are excited. In fact,
Yes.
yesterday at church, one of your relatives said,
Yes.
"Oh, everybody watch Shark Tank." I said, "Oh, I'll be seeing it in the
Yes.
morning." So
Yes.
it's a great connection. So I want to say, what can we as a community of supporters of yours be doing even in that whole process? How can we support you?
Watch it so you can find out what happens. We
Yes,
can't talk
okay.
about what happens. But whatever happens, right? It's just an amazing feat. Just watch the show and check out our website. We will have specials for Shark Tank on Friday. So if you have family, you're preparing for Christmas cards, like we would love to help you with that. And just follow your dreams. Like that makes me happy. Even if we're not for you, like allow like our testimony to be for you. And if there's something, like I said, that you feel like God has placed on your heart, and even if it doesn't look like it's going to work out, just keep going.
So you said Christmas cards. So talk about the product line then.
Yes.
So we sell family matching apparel really for
Okay.
every holiday.
Okay.
Our second biggest holiday besides Christmas is Thanksgiving, ironically.
Okay.
I didn't know that matching for Thanksgiving would be a thing, but it is. It's a big thing for us. So any holiday you can think of, we create matching shirts, and we stick around holidays because that's usually where family gathers.
Yes.
And so if everybody is wearing a cool matching t-shirt, they're going to take a photo. So that's really our ultimate goal. Like it's a lot easier to take, you just pick up your phone, snap a photo, but more than just the photo, it's just the memories. It's the laughter. It's just the like, oh my gosh, I can't believe we wore these shirts. Or like, that one's really cool. We allow them to be like personalized to your personality, or like even the food ones, like everybody comes repping their favorite food. So it's like I said, it's just about creating those moments and those memories that matter the most. So,
And I know you talked about the children a little bit, but what are they saying about the business, about this new venture?
they're excited for us. My youngest, Kinsley, she's only 5. She was with us when we were practicing our pitch and everything for Shark Tank. And so she's been holding on to this for so long. So every day it was like, can I tell people about Shark Tank? Can I tell people? I'm like, no. So now she's like, finally. So she's just really, she doesn't understand what Shark Tank is or exactly what we're doing, but she does understand goals. And so that makes me proud. Like she understands
Very good. Especially at
goals.
5.
Yeah,
Right.
she understands
Yes.
dreams and like wanting to do something. So I love that she can just conceptualize like, okay, mom has a goal, mom has a dream, dad has a goal, dad has a dream, and this is what they want to do. Like not necessarily money. Like I don't want her to chase money. I want her to chase her dreams, and that's what she's understanding. I don't know if she really understands we make money from this, and that's okay.
Until you
But
go to the store and say, I want this. How?
She has no idea how we get money. But she understands like we're going after something. And then the oldest 2, of course, they understand more. But they're so proud of us. And I think that hits the hardest when they are proud of you. Like they're so young. Like he's 14 and 11. And just to hear them say like, I'm so proud of you. Like that is like,
Priceless.
That is priceless.
Yes.
oh my gosh. Like, yes, like going, even when we were going into the tank, like right before we went into the tank, Noah texted me and he's only 11 and he's kind of reserved and quiet. And he's just like, Mom, I'm so proud of you. And he's like, it doesn't matter if you get a deal or not. Like, I am so proud of you. And I just like broke.
Yes.
And because it's like that's what matters, right? Those are
Right.
those glass
Yes.
balls. And so, yeah, it was really cool.
So are they aspiring to be an entrepreneur as well?
Honestly, no.
Okay.
maybe it's those not Oprah days that they're like, I don't want to go through that. My oldest wants to be the CEO of Disney. So,
okay.
and he is very fast tracked on that. Like he is dead set on that's what he's gonna be.
Okay.
So I think that it's just that goal aspect, that vision that they've really
is.
hold on to. And then Noah wants to be a doctor.
Okay.
He wants to be an ENT.
Wow.
So the fact that they're just so specific about what it is they want to do, but I'm open. I'm like, guys, it might change. Like, remember, I was supposed to be a teacher, and they're very interested in, well, how did it change? When did you know? And I'm like, I didn't, you know.
Right.
So they're into those conversations, but they are like set on their vision. And so, again, I think that's what we've been able to show them. And Kinsley, she just wants to be a princess at this point. It's like a princess.
She already is a princess.
Yes, a princess.
Yes,
you know.
yes.
Ashley, please remind our listening audience of your website and how they can order all of this great apparel.
Thank
and
you.
remind them to attend the watch party and the location.
So, our watch party is invitation only just because we have a small space, but you can watch it on ABC at 8 p.m. on this Friday. So 8 p.m. this Friday, or the next day on Hulu. And then our website is www.kaansdesigns.com.
And just before we close, KAAN is inspired by.
Yes. So Kenny actually named the business when I told him, like, oh, I want to do this thing. We didn't know what we were going to call it. So KAAN's is actually an acronym for all of our names. It's Kenny, Ashley, Aiden, and Noah. Kinsley wasn't here yet, so she shares the K with her dad.
Inspiring.
It is inspiring.
Yes,
and you know, Ashley, we'll have to have you back when both you and
Yes.
Kenny can be here.
Yes.
It's been a great time. We wish you much success. Eyes have not
Absolutely.
seen nor ears have heard what God has in store.
Thank you.
We're a little bit over time, but in the 30 seconds we have left, I want you to encourage somebody out there in podcast land that's maybe with a vision and not sure if they want to step out on that vision.
I say just go for it. Like, even if this wasn't the first thing that I tried. And so the vision isn't necessarily about the thing. It's not about cans. It's about what God is working in you. So I feel like just do it. And it's okay if it doesn't work. Most of the time, the first thing that you try doesn't work. And I think people are so afraid of that. What if this thing doesn't work? But that's okay, because it'll lead you to whatever the next thing is, or it may work. And so you just got to go. You just got to trust. You just got to talk to the Lord, and he'll carry you either way it goes.
Amen. Amen.
Well, there you have it.
Yes.
Remember, to the listening audience, your future is now, and an investment in your future today is a profitable gain tomorrow. And Bishop, go ahead and close us out.
All right. I want to say, be ye steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord. And the Greens are doing the work of the Lord. It's
Yes.
hard work, but we don't mind hard work.
Yes.
Hard work pays off. So be blessed today in your entrepreneurial ventures.